Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affairs MCQs program. Let's begin with the previous day's practice question. The question was, consider the following statements related to stablecoin. First, Tether's stablecoin is backed by Chinese yuan. Second, India does not currently recognize stablecoins and treat them as virtual digital assets. Which of the following statements given above is /r correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. Option D, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option B. The stable coins are cryptocurrencies that aim to maintain a stable value by being pegged to traditional assets like the USD or gold. Popular stable coins like Tether or USD coins are backed by US dollar and not Chinese yuan. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. India does not currently recognize stable coins, treating all cryptocurrencies as virtual digital assets under Section 2 Clause 47A of the Income Tax Act 1961. Hence, statement 2 is correct. In 2023, VDAs were brought under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 to curb the misuse and enhance overweight. So, the correct answer is option B.
Welcome, SSC aspirants. Drishti SSC is here to support you every step of the way. With free live classes, previous year questions, PYQs, demo classes, exam notifications, and strategy videos. Whether you're starting your journey or looking to refine your preparation, we've got you covered. Subscribe to our channel and stay updated with all the resources you need to crack your SSC exams. For more details, call us at 8750187501.
Let's begin with today's episode now. Question number 1. With reference to Ramsar Convention on Wetlands, consider the following statements. 1. According to Ramsar definition, wetlands can include shallow marine areas up to 6 meters deep at low tide. Second, human-made wetlands such as river patch. Second, human-made wetlands such as reservoirs, aquaculture ponds, and salt pans cannot be designed as Ramsar sites. Third, the convention allows inclusion of nearby riparian and coastal zones and even deeper marine areas if they lie within the functional wetland system. Which of the following statements given above is /r correct? Option A, first and third only. Option B, second and third only. Option C, first and second only. And option D, first, second and third. The correct answer is option A. The Ramsar definition of wetlands explicitly includes shallow marine water up to 6 meters deep at low tide, which broadens its scope to include coastal lagoons and estuaries. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Human-made wetlands can be designed as Ramsar sites. Examples include the Nagi and Nakti bird sanctuaries in Bihar, which are human-made irrigation reservoirs now recognized as Ramsar sites. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The Ramsar Convention allows for inclusion of nearby riparian and coastal zones and even deeper marine areas if they lie within the functional wetland system. Hence, statement 3 is correct. So, the correct answer is option A. Question number 2. With a reference to centralized public grievance redress and monitoring system, consider the following statements. First, CPGR AMS is a 24/7 online platform launched by the Ministry of Home Affairs. Second, it enables citizens to lodge grievances related to public service delivery and also allows for appeals if the resolution is unsatisfactory. Third, it includes right to information queries and service-related grievances of government employees. How many of the statements given above are correct? Option A, only 1. Option B, only 2. Option C, all 3. And option D, none. The correct answer is option A. Centralized Public Grievance Redress and Monitoring System is a 24/7 online platform launched by the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances under the Ministry of Personal, Public Grievances and Pension. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. It enables to lodge grievances related to public service delivery. It also allows appeals if the resolution is unsatisfactory. Hence, statement 2 is correct. It excludes right to information queries, court or sub judice matters, religious issues, and service-related grievances of government employees. Hence, statement 3 is also not correct. So, the correct answer is option A. Question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding the Vice President of India. First, he/she is elected by an electoral college consisting of members of both houses of parliament, including elected as well as nominated members. Second, he/she can be removed from office by an effective majority of both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Which of the above statement is /are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option A. Article 63 of the Indian Constitution states that there shall be a Vice President of India who is the second highest constitutional authority after the President. The post is modeled on the American Vice President. He/she is elected by MPs from both houses of Parliament, elected and nominated members, but state legislators do not participate as per Article 66. Hence, statement 1 is correct. He/she acts as ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha, Council of States, as per Article 64, but does not vote except in case of a tie. He/she can be removed by a resolution in the Rajya Sabha. Effective majority more than 50% of effective strength, that is total membership minus any vacancies, and approved by Lok Sabha, simple majority. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. A 14-day notice must be given before moving such a resolution, clearly stating the intention. So, option A is the correct answer. Question number 4. Due to the synchronization between the moon's rotation on its axis and its revolution around the earth, we always see only one side of the moon. This means the time it takes for the moon to complete one rotation is exactly the same as the time it takes to complete one orbit around the earth. Which of the following terms best describes this phenomena? Option A, lunar eclipse. Option B, orbital resonance. Option C, tidal locking. And option D, perigee effect. The correct answer is option C. Tidal locking is a gravitational phenomena in which an astronomical body's orbital period matches its rotational period, causing one hemisphere to constantly face its parent body. In the case of the moon, it rotates on its axis in the same time it takes to orbit the earth, which is why we always see only one side of it. Apart from tidal locking, other related astronomical phenomena include the lunar eclipse, which occurs when the earth comes between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow on the lunar surface. The orbital resonance is seen when two orbiting bodies influence each other gravitationally due to their orbital periods being simple ratios. The perigee effect refers to the moon's closest point to Earth in its orbit, often making it appear larger and causing higher tides, popularly known as supermoon. So the correct answer is option C. Question number 5. Regarding the national flag, consider the following statements. First, it can only be made from hand-spun khadi, that is cotton, as it symbolizes self-reliance. Second, Article 51A, Clause A of the Indian Constitution mandates that it is the fundamental duty of every citizen to respect the national flag. Third, it is governed by Flag Code of India 2002, which sets rules for display, handling, and respect for the flag. How many of the statements given above is/are correct? Option A, only 1. Option B, only 2. Option C, only 3. And option D, none. The correct answer is option B. The correct answer is option B. National flag is traditionally made from hand-spun khadi, symbolizing self-reliance. However, in 2021, the Flag Code of India 2002 was amended to allow the national flag to be made from other approved materials, including machine-made and polyester flags. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Article 51A, Clause A of the Indian Constitution mandates that it is the fundamental duty of every citizen to respect the national flag and national anthem. Hence, statement 2 is correct. It is governed by the Flag Code of India 2002, which sets rules for display, handling, and respect for the flag. Hence, option 3 is correct. The Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act 1971 punishes offences related to disrespecting the national flag or anthem. So the correct answer is option B. Question number 6. Which one of the following articles of the Indian Constitution grants the Supreme Court the authority to issue orders or decree to ensure complete justice in any case? Option A, Article 129, option B, Article 137, option C, Article 141, and option D, Article 142. The correct answer is option D. Article 129 empowers the Supreme Court to punish contempt of itself, while Article 215 grants the same power to high courts, which also hold the authority to punish contempt of subordinate courts. Article 137 stands for review of judgments or orders by the Supreme Court. Article 141 provides the law declared by the Supreme Court shall be binding on all courts within the territory of India. Article 142 empowers the Supreme Court to pass any decree or order necessary for doing complete justice in any case or matter pending before it. These decrees or orders are enforceable across India's territory, making them significant tools for judicial intervention. So the correct answer is option D. Question number 7. With reference to the International Space Station, consider the following statements. First, the ISS is the largest human-made object ever to orbit Earth. Second, it is a joint effort of the space agencies of the US, Russia, Europe, Japan, and Canada. Third, it aims to advance the misunderstanding of space and microgravity through scientific research. How many of the statements given above are correct? Option A, only one, option B, only two, option C, all three, and option D, none. The correct answer is option C. The International Space Station is the largest man-made structure in space and was launched in 1998. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It functions as a habitat for astronauts and has been continuously occupied since 2000. The ISS is a joint effort of the space agencies of US, Russia, Europe, Japan, and Canada. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The ISS orbits approximately 400 kilometers above Earth. It travels around Earth at about 28,000 kilometers per hour, completing an orbit every 90 minutes. The ISS aims to advance our understanding of space and microgravity, support new scientific research, and exemplify international collaboration. Hence, statement 3 is correct. So, the correct answer is option C. Question number 8. Consider the following statements regarding the Consumer Price Index. First, it is published monthly by National Statistical Office under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Second, CPI is used for indexing dealers' allowance to employees for increase in prices. Third, there are 4 types of CPI for industrial workers, agricultural laborers, rural laborers, and urban non-manual employees. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option A, first and second only. Option B, second and third only. Option C, first and third only. Option D, first, second, and third. The correct answer is option D. Consumer Price Index measures the overall change in consumer prices based on representative basket of goods and services over time, with 2012 as the base year. The CPI is published monthly by National Statistical Office under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Hence, statement 1 is correct. CPI is used for targeting price stability, adjusting dearness allowance, and understanding cost of living, purchasing power, and expensiveness of goods and services. Hence, statement 2 is correct. CPI is calculated by dividing the cost of a fixed basket in current year by cost in the base year, then multiplying by 100. There are 4 different types of CPI measured. Hence, statement 3 is correct. They are CPI for industrial workers, CPI for agricultural laborers, CPI for rural laborer, CPI for urban non-manual employees. So, option D is correct. Question number 9. With reference to the Vice President of India, consider the following statements. First, Article 63 of the Constitution provides that there shall be a VP of India who is the second highest constitutional authority after the President. Second, the voting process is conducted via proportional representation and single transferable vote by secret ballot overseen by a returning officer. Third, VP serves a term of 5 years but can continue in office beyond the expiry of the term until a successor assumes charge. How many of the statements given above is/are not correct? Option A, only one. Option B, only two. Option C, all three. And option D, none. The correct answer is option D. Article 63 of the Indian Constitution states that there shall be a Vice President of India who is the second highest constitutional authority after the President. The post is modeled on American Vice President, hence statement 1 is correct. Article 63 to 71 of the Constitution deals with the Vice President. Election and eligibility. Electoral college is they are elected by MPs of both houses of parliament, but state legislators do not participate. The voting process is conducted via proportional representation and single transferable vote by secret ballot, overseen by a returning officer, hence statement 2 is correct. Eligibility criteria is that he/she must be an Indian citizen at least 35 years old, qualified by Rajya Sabha membership and not hold an office of profit and should not be a member of parliament or state legislature. Term duration is he/she serves a 5-year term as per Article 67 and can continue beyond expiry until a successor takes office. Hence, statement 3 is correct. So, the correct answer is option D. Question number 10. Consider the following statements regarding India's contribution to SAARC. First, the SAARC Agreement on Trades and Services was first proposed by India, which came into force in 2012. Second, India launched the South Asian satellite, providing satellite-based services to SAARC countries. Which of the following statements given above are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option B. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation was officially established on 8 December 1985 in Dhaka, Bangladesh, with 7 founding members, and they are Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Afghanistan joined as the 8th member in 2007. The SAARC Agreement on Trade and Services came into force in 2012 to enhance intra-regional investments and liberalize trade and services. SATIS was not proposed by a single country but rather developed and agreed upon by all member states. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. India has hosted 3 out of 18 SAARC summits, the second summit in Bangalore 1986, the 8th summit in New Delhi 1995 and the 14th summit in New Delhi 2007. India has extended its national knowledge network to countries such as Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Bhutan, fostering education and technological exchange. Additionally, India launched the South Asian satellite in 2017, providing satellite-based services to SAARC countries. Hence, statement 2 is correct. So, the answer is option B. It's the time for practice question, which is, consider the following statements regarding the free trade agreements. First, it is a trade pact between 2 or more nations that aims to reduce or eliminate custom duties and trade barriers on goods traded between them. Second, India has not signed any FTA with Australia. Which of the statements given above is/are correct? Option A, first only. Option B, second only. Option C, both 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. Pin down your answers in the comment section below.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.